Home is where connections are made, memories are formed, and ideas are born. And no one knows home better than NFM. Thanks for tuning in to I Am Home, the podcast that goes deeper than trends and dives into what it means to make your house a home.
Welcome to I Am Home, the Home Life Best Life podcast. I'm Tyler Wisecup. Sadly, we don't have Becca with us today, but I do have my co-host, Hilary Waltemath. She's smoother than luxury vinyl. Hi, Hilary.
Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah. This month, our theme is your home's ultimate guide to kid and pet solutions. And today's topic is flooring. And fortunately, we have the perfect guest to walk us through this topic, Rodney McNeil from Shaw Floors. Welcome, Rodney.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Of course, we're so excited to have you. But before we dive into this topic of flooring, I want to tell you why we're even doing this podcast. And that's because NFM is more than just your everything home store. We're in the business of improving lifestyles because your home life should be your best life. And you can learn more at nfm.com. So, Rodney, I do have a quick bio for you, if you don't mind indulging me. You are a VP of Shaw Floors, the Shaw Floors brand. You lead marketing and product teams that support multiple Shaw Floor categories, including carpet, hardboard, tile, stone, and so much more. And personally, Rodney, I was struggling to find a lot of information out there on the Googles. I saw at one point some wedding pictures. So that's as much as I could get. Anything that you want to share about what you do outside of work?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm originally from South Carolina. I'm a big South Carolina Gamecock fan.
Yeah, okay.
I'm married with two kids. I've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, Reese and Wes. So right now I'm very fortunate that they take up a lot of my free time. Awesome. And when I'm not with them, I don't mind hitting the golf ball a little bit.
There you go. I love it. Okay. So clearly you're going to bring some personal experience on top of like the just the nitty gritty kind of educational, technical information that we'll have to share. So excited to dive in here. And I want to just kind of start broad. When we're talking about this topic of kid and pet solutions for flooring, what are some of the most important factors that you tell shoppers to consider?
Well, I think you got to consider like who's in your household. Is it kids and pets? And with our consumer research today, that's 70+% of households do have a pet. So that's over 80 million homes.
70%. Oh, wow.
Yes. So really you got to consider, hey, if you've got pets, you need something that's easy to clean, it's durable, it's scratch proof. And then with kids, you also need to consider they may want something softer to play on, like a carpet. So you just got to really evaluate what you're using your home for, and that will help determine what flooring you need.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that just kind of starting with what your lifestyle is. I think that's kind of some of the things that we always reference.
Yeah.
You know, beyond flooring is just kind of like furniture. Like what are your needs? Exactly.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. If we're talking materials, what are some that hold up best against everyday wear and tear, like your spills, your scratches, and accidents?
Well, I think that's the beauty of Shaw Floors with us servicing all categories. And we've had a lot of innovation that has transpired over the last few years. And so really whether it's hardwood, carpet, tile and stone, or luxury vinyl, which is very popular today, all of these products, we've got them that are, highly durable, easy to clean, and will stand up to, high traffic areas. So we've seen carpet. It's not like your grandma's carpet. So now we've got a pet perfect collection that it's our tagline is it's easy to clean, it's durable, and it's perfect for your pet. Yeah. So again, we've enhanced the innovation and the performance of not only carpet, but also our other categories as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking about your grandma's carpet, and I remember that like shag carpet, and my dogs now, they could not zoo me on that shag carpet. That all those loops would not be loops anymore.
So. Even we're seeing a lot of trends towards like patterns and loops for carpet, and with so many households having pets, we've kind of advanced our technology on loops where we have a higher tuck bond that gives you a no ravel or you got a loop warranty there. So that really
Oh.
meets the need for those pet owners as well.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard about the loop warranties. That makes a lot of sense, and and it's super helpful for especially the 70% of households where you've got kids and pets running around.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So if people haven't shopped for flooring in a while, you've been talking a little bit about some of like the evolutions in flooring trends. What are some of the biggest innovations that have kind of evolved again within probably the last 3 to 5 years that have made things like the pet flooring, the carpet that you were talking about, and some of like the luxury vinyl, some of those like water resistance and all those kind of things happen that make it a lot better for kids and pets?
Yes, I think traditionally, at least when me growing up, it was always carpet, maybe hardwood or laminate in the house. And we've seen that shift where we're trying to get everything's trying to mimic hardwood. So you got luxury vinyl, resilient. That's been probably the hottest category, taking the most share the last 5 to 7 years. So that's been very popular. It mimics wood visuals. It comes in multiple widths. You've got the waterproof story there that really, if you've got pets and have household spills, that addresses that need. It really sometimes makes it a better option than hardwood for those active households. And then carpet, our Pet Perfect collection, we've got a proprietary patent it's called Lifeguard Spill-Proof Backing, where no liquid or spill can penetrate the backing. So you're able to makes it easy to clean up.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So the days of like when you had to pull up carpet and you see the things that lived in carpet, that technology is like really kind of cutting down on all that kind of stuff happening.
Yeah, it's 100% spill-proof backing. So
that's crazy.
If you spill a gallon of milk, you can pull a gallon of milk out of it.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
Do you have to, with that, like Pet Perfect? That's what the name of it is?
Yes, Pet Perfect carpet.
Okay. Is there, does that make it more, I don't know, like delicate to clean? I'm thinking like if you do have like spills, like can you just spray and scrub like you would regular carpet? Yeah.
So with that Pet Perfect collection with the Lifeguard backing, we also have what we call our R2X stain and soil treatment on top. That really it allows that spill to bead up on top and not penetrate into the fiber or down into the backing. So it makes it really easy. You just take a paper towel and just lay on top, and it soaks it up.
No kidding.
That's super helpful. Yeah.
And they're also we've got color guard technology on there as well. So if you do have to clean it with any harsh chemicals, it will not fade or bleach the carpet.
Goodness gracious. I know like so many people probably have moved away from carpet for the reason that like just spills and gets messy and grody and just doesn't look great. So like technology like this, having the chemicals on top that like make it bead, and then like not being able to go through to the carpet pad, as well as like the color fade, things like that, I think just make it a lot more attractive as an option. Having kind of that more soft areas in your home can be more realistic for people, especially if you do have kids and pets.
Yeah, that's a big thing now with a lot of people working from home, kind of making it your sanctuary, and from acoustical and sound standpoint, carpet is obviously the best option for that.
Sure. Yeah, I hadn't even considered that. We so desperately need new flooring in our home. We had some water damage, and then we also foster a lot of dogs. I think we've had like 12 or 13 dogs we've fostered. And so with that, you're getting oftentimes dogs that aren't potty trained. And so we're like going through that with adult dogs, which is like complicated enough. And I'm thinking about like, you know, they can smell that regardless of how much you clean it up, that smell still lingers, which makes other dogs want to mark that spot. But the idea of something that doesn't even let it penetrate, like I was like, oh, we need to get rid of carpet in this hallway. But I'm like, oh, maybe we don't. Maybe we can. This sounds like a good solution for our situation for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing better to me waking up in the morning and getting out of bed and putting your feet on some cozy carpet.
Yeah, totally. It's like, maybe we'll make that shift back from, they talk about house hunters, their expectations, and they don't want one little square inch of carpet anywhere. But in all reality, it is cozy, especially
it's a
in the
lot
bedroom.
cozier for sure. For sure. If customers are more interested on like the luxury vinyl, you were talking about that resilient product. Yes. How do innovations like the waterproofing and like the stain scratch resistance, how does that actually work?
The waterproof is more in the locking system, where you can prevent, and that's the thing with hardwood, like when it gets in around the baseboards or even the seams is where it would cause some issues. But the topically is 100% waterproof. You've got a locking system profile that's also waterproof as well. And then from a scratch standpoint, it's all about the coating. You'll hear a lot of times wear layer, and it could be a 6 mil up to 30 mil. Wow. That's not as important as the top coating that goes on top. And that's the beautiful thing about Shaw floors. We've got a scuff resist platinum, which is that top coating that is the most durable in the industry.
Interesting. So it's like what is that material again? You said it's a
coating that goes on top, an application. But ours is kind of branded scuff resist platinum.
Scuff resistant platinum coating. Okay. Dang. Okay. That sounds very fancy.
I know.
So and that's kind of like we can take a 6 mil internal on our own products with 6 mil with that superior top coating and compare it to a 30 mil without that, and the 6 mil outperforms the 30 mil. So a lot of times consumers get misled, and that the wear layer is the leading indicator for the performance, but it's all about the top coating.
That coating. Okay. Interesting. And then, like you said, when it's the lock profile too, helping with the seams, and like if you have moisture, that kind of prevents a lot of that kind of stuff, kind of like warping and getting kind of terrible underneath.
Correct.
Okay. Good. Okay. So, any other advancements that we haven't talked about that you're really excited about from a trend technology side?
I'd say with carpet, I think we've hit a home run with a Pet Perfect, with the Lifeguard spill-proof backing, with the R2X, and the other color guard features. We are in the process of looking at how we can take luxury vinyl plank and add a new coating on top of that makes it even more scratch resistant than what we have today. So in 2026, we're kind of a sneak peek behind the curtain. We will have a Pet Perfect resilient collection coming.
Oh, dang.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Extra protection. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. So we talked a little bit about like the style options now have just kind of gotten a lot deeper than they used to be, where it felt like back in the day you had the rollout vinyl and it came in like 3 colors and you're like, this is never going to look good. I don't want that. I want real wood. Can you talk a little bit about how from a production standpoint you're balancing kind of the aesthetics with all of this practicality and all this technical kind of materials that we're now adding to a lot of these products?
Yeah, we know the consumer, and even I think all of us, we shop with our eyes first, and we want to have a beautiful product installed in our home that we're proud of. And we think that in the past there's been a misconception that you can't have something that looks good but also performs and holds up in an active household. But again, with our advanced technologies, from our carpet manufacturing to our hard surface manufacturing, we've now had enhancements that gives you the best of both worlds. You can have a beautiful floor with high style and high design that also performs and holds up to those pets and those kids.
Yeah, awesome. Is there like from the different kinds of styles that have come out recently, has there been like a clear favorite that you've seen from customers?
No, it's actually, since we service all of North America, it's pretty diverse. I mean, especially color trends. What we see in the Midwest is a lot of multi-toned kind of flex. You get a softer, more tonals in the Southeast, and then the Northeast is still, in terms of carpet, a big solid color carpet market. But then when you look at hard surface, it's pretty consistent. You see a lot of the same trends on the West Coast that you see on the East Coast. They may start on the West Coast, but then we see that gravitate across the country.
That's interesting that differs that much regionally. But I guess that makes sense in like home design and architecture based on like regional differences. So that's fascinating to see just how different that is.
Yeah, and then like and even so in carpet, we are seeing a shift more so from your traditional cut pile to more of those loops and patterns. People want that gives you, that opportunity to elevate your style and design.
Yeah.
And you also have the ability, if you want to do the hard surface and have a waterproof, resilient flooring, you can go then lay a beautiful pet perfect rug on top of it to give you the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I love that. It just adds a lot more texture and kind of visual variety versus like a standard, like, salt and peppery kind of like regular loops. So it just kind of adds a little bit more of that. Can you kind of expand on some of the idea of like bringing in some more of those different weave patterns and textures?
Yeah, it seems like people still want that traditional kind of modern visual, but like tactile texture is really hot right now. We're seeing it especially in tile and stone for like backsplashes, and mosaics. But we're also seeing it with the resilient flooring. You got EIR technology, which gives you, like, if you see a knot, you can feel the knot, and it's not just a printed version of it. So we're seeing more demand for that, and we're seeing more innovation enhancements around that in other categories as well.
I love that. Is there so like all of this technology, honestly, it feels like like we're able to apply it to some of these more modern designs and trends and things like that. Is there still, like, when you're guiding folks along this route of like making sure you're finding the right product for your home, is there any limitations at this point for people in being able to kind of like apply the specific styles and things that they want to do within their home today?
Not necessarily. We're seeing a lot of folks that, everybody loves like a natural product, like a wool product, but maybe that's not in their budget. So we're trying to take some of those more premium luxury visuals and utilize our technology to apply it to products that are more budget friendly for the masses. And that's what you're seeing a lot in carpet with the loops and the pattern products. We're trying to, again, be able to provide a product and a visual that can, for the masses per se.
Yeah. Another trend I've been seeing and loving is like doing some sort of like runner downstairs, but in like fun patterns and colors and textures, which is interesting because I would think like that usually sees a lot of traffic, and it's usually like concentrated into one little area. So if you can get those like high style designs, but in something that can withstand a lot of traffic, that sounds like a great solution to like that look that I've been seeing and loving. Yeah.
Historically, you saw a lot of beige carpet, going up the stairs. And then it kind of transitioned to a lot of wood stair treads. And then you kind of had the slip and kind of the safety issue there. So now we're going with a lot of these loops and patterns. You give we're giving our consumers the opportunity to, like I said, put some color or some cool patterns, something that they don't want all the way throughout their house, but just kind of a statement piece to pop on those stairs. And with all of our Enso high performance carpet, they're all warranted for stairs, whereas you've got some other products out there that aren't warranted.
Interesting.
Love that.
Rodney, I'm curious for your own home. Is there like when you were doing research, you've got kids, you've got people running around. I'm sure you've ran into spills and things like that. What kind of products did you gravitate towards when you were doing your research?
Well, I've been fortunate to move 5 times with Shaw. So I think I've been in 7 homes in like 13 years.
Oh man.
And again, I've got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and we previously had a 90-pound dog. So we are the traditional active household.
Yeah.
My personal preference is carpet in the bedroom. We've always had hardwood in our common spaces, and then a beautiful 12 by 24 porcelain tile in the bathrooms and the mudroom and the shower.
That's awesome. Yeah, sounds great. Is there like a specific style that you're going for within like how you guys outfit your spaces?
We're very, I guess, traditional, like a European white oak hardwood is kind of what I'm kind of not very bold, so I'm very safe. So that's always what we've gone with. And I would say carpet, I was always kind of a solid or tonal cut pile. But here recently, in our recent home, we've got a nice, very light white loop.
Oh, wow.
Which is, again, with the technology, with our Pet Perfect product, we felt confident that we could put in a white carpet and we didn't have to worry about it or selecting a darker color to hide these stains and these mishaps that our kids create, because we know it's going to perform and stand up to it.
Yeah, that's bold. That's bold. And again, I think a lot of people get afraid that like, okay, no way is that going to last. It's going to look terrible in a day. So I'm glad to hear that the people have the opportunity to potentially do that in their own homes. Okay, Rodney, I'd love to talk about one of the things that I really love about Shaw is your guys' connection to the American Kennel Club. How did that partnership come about?
Yes, I'll give Stephen Van Gorp and Jacob Daly on our team credit. They kind of were looking, as our Pet Perfect business was growing, we started doing research and finding another organization to kind of partner with. So last August, we became the official flooring partner for the American Kennel Club.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, they're the world's largest and oldest not-for-profit all-breed registry. So they're a great resource for millions of dog owners. But really it gave us access to a very strategic and targeted audience. And we knew we had a great product in Pet Perfect. We were just trying to find ways to really get that out there to those groups.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think that that's such a great thing. And obviously like feels really in line with like the approach that you're taking to the technology and giving customers things that are going to actually work and stand up in their homes, as well as like, you know, supporting the places that like we all love dogs and love companies that also love dogs, right? A lot of us anyway. So this has been so interesting, Rodney. I really appreciate it. Any final thoughts for us, for our customers as they're thinking about, you know, pet proofing, kid and pet solutions, especially in the flooring world?
Yeah, I'd say just hopefully everybody's aware that we do have this Pet Perfect collection out there for carpet today, and it is expanding into hard surface. So if you're in the market for flooring and you have an active home with pets or kids, you can go to shawfloors.com and do some research there and hopefully find a beautifully styled product for your home.
Yeah. But we've got both the beauty and the brawn here. We're meeting both. Okay, so Rodney, you've really laid some solid groundwork for our listeners today. See the terrible pun that I had to wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us, though. I also want to thank my co-hosts Hilary and our producers Ann and Scott, and our listeners for liking and subscribing wherever you listen. And don't forget to visit us at nfm.com/podcast to send us your questions, from design challenges to product recommendations and beyond. We're giving out free advice, people. So send us those questions. Bye for now. But remember, home is what you make it.
Thanks for joining us today for I Am Home with Tyler Weisskopf, Hilary Waltemath, and Becca Sudbeck. No one knows home quite like NFM. So if you'd like more information on home design at NFM, please check out nfm.com and leave us a review on the podcast platform of your choice.